It has been a hot minute since I have been on this channel. So today we're gonna do some fun sketchbook practice. I got my source here. I'm gonna do this cute little bird because I loved the colors on it. And I'm probably gonna do this in paint. I got my acrylic marker set here and I will probably maybe do some inks for the background. Just playing and having fun in my sketchbook. So let's go. Okay, I got my sketchbook here. I got my reference. I'm gonna bring my Caran d'Ache. I've got a few inks here for fun. And I got all of my paints at the ready. Okay, let's start off by taping my edges. This is frog tape and I really like the look of the taped edges when you peel it off. I mean, who doesn't like that? So I'm going to start off with my inks and just doing light to dark, just basically blocking in the areas that I have for the background and where I want my flowers to go. At this point, I'm realizing how I kind of forgot how bad the paper is for soaking up the inks and drying, and anyways, it's sketchbook paper. I should know better, but here we are. And now it's time to get my palette ready. Boop. So here's all the colors. I'm just going to be using the acrylic paint for this. I'm just going to start sketching in a little bit where the shapes of the bird are going to be. And then, yeah, not that you can see it, but I did that. And here we are with going in with my darkest colors at first. I always think that I have the darkest color that I need until I realize that nope, I actually needed to go a little bit darker in certain spaces, and you'll see me going back and forth a lot with that. This paper is very interesting because it holds the colors well and stuff, but it also dries really, really fast. I mean, that is the downfall of acrylics, but I don't know, the paper with the fast drying time, it just made it a little bit difficult to deal with, but the whole point is just more about having fun than anything else. I'm realizing at this point that the background is not the exact color that I wanted, but in hindsight, I actually probably should have left it, so there's that. I wanted it to be more of a browny goldy color, and I probably should have just left it that red. So I'm working on these flowers now and they are blurry in the front. So I'm really just trying to go in super loose and make it have that blurry effect. Is it working? Not so sure, but it is a challenge for me. So I'm going to try and do it. And next I'm blocking in the face and getting this eye. I noticed that the eye angle, something was just very off. And when you're starting with like the darks and blocking in colors, it's really hard to understand how to see past the dark color and it not looking very nice. Before, the old me would have rendered the head immediately so that I could see the success that I'm working towards, but I'm really trying to hold back from that and just going dark to light at this point. So now I'm adding in the greens and the yellows of the feathers, and I'm really wanting to have a painterly effect with this, but it wasn't really working because of, again, I don't know if it was the paper, the brush I was probably using was not helpful, and I could not get the right size of feather brushes that I wanted. Granted, again, probably the brush. So that was my bad. Now I'm just going to try and get that form in with the top of the head of this bird. And I just love these blue colors. And so I'm really trying to get the nice blue that's in here and just overlaying some of it. And I could not stand not having the white in there any further. So here I am trying to block that in and get it around the eye to be the right shapes. And it was quite a struggle, guys. I will say that. I think I was just using the wrong brush, and I don't think I have a smaller brush for my acrylic set. So that's kind of a little bit of a bummer to do something like this, but it is all good. I'm gonna work with what I have. And so yeah, just blocking in that white. And then I'm also realizing that I'm kind of losing the shape of my bird a little bit. So I'm trying to get that body back. And since I couldn't get the right crisp lines that I wanted, I switched to my acrylic markers, hoping that that would help a little bit. And again, I could not get them thin enough, so that was a little annoying. Then I realized that I was really losing the shape of my bird, so I'm going in around the outside to try and reframe this and get it a little bit more structured and more accurate. I really love the idea of birds, and so that's why I'm kind of doing this little study is to try and get better at them. The feathers, though, are really hard for me. It's almost like fur of animals, and that's why I haven't been doing many animals lately because just the fur is so intimidating, and if I feel like I'm struggling, then I get really discouraged. And so I'm definitely feeling that a lot with this bird right now. I'm trying the fan brush to see if that'll help. And again, like I don't want to blame the paper, but sometimes it literally is just the paper that I'm working with. I should have maybe sealed it a little bit better, or at all, to be frank. I didn't seal it at all. So I should have sealed it or maybe worked on different paper if I wanted it to be more of a realistic vibe, but whatever. It's a sketchbook practice, and there are a lot of things that I did like, and there was a lot that I learned with this bird. So that is all considered wins. I just keep going back and forth and trying to get the shapes correct. I definitely see where I'm struggling as I'm doing my voiceover for this. And it's all good because I only had about an hour to do this bird. So I'm considering it a win considering how little time I had. And yeah, just again, it was all about practice. So if you learn something, that's what I consider to be beneficial. And I definitely learned a lot with this. And I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I was doing a bird with feathers that I just am not really good at. And I also pushed myself with blurry flowers in the foreground. And that is not something that I've ever been good at, is making things blurry in paintings. So that is definitely something that I'm trying to work on and be better at. I also know your sketchbook is for playing and testing new things, and honestly, I will maybe try sealing the paper next time and seeing what kind of difference that will make, because I did want to use the inks though. I wanted to use the inks, but I should have sealed it after the inks and seen if that made any improvements at all with the paper. Then I made the horrible decision of trying to do a wet wash of white over the background. And again, forgetting about the paper quality that I'm working with here. This would have worked on a canvas or a sealed paper. This, it was not working so well. So you see me struggling back and forth with this, trying to get it a little bit lighter, but I also needed it to be dark because I wanted it to have the darkness against the bright bird. Anyways, it did not go well, and I'm fine with that. Again, it was a learning curve. And then I decided, you know what? It's time to go in with my fingers. So I am finger painting now. It was a lot of fun. And I think that really helped me stay loose. And I think that's the key of being more loose, is using things that you don't really have much control over. Like the size of my fingers, I only have so many and I only have so much of a size. So I think that helped with the blurriness. All right, now time for the fun part, the tape pull. And then I realized, wah, wah, I have so much color on the outside. I should have taped the whole thing, but it's fine. You probably can't tell on the video like I can in person. Look at that satisfying tape peel. It looks so good. Look at that. Anyways, guys, here is my little bird study with attempting to do blurry flowers in the foreground and doing a bright, beautiful bird in the background with having more of a rendered face. And yeah, the tape peeled a little bit, and like I said, it kind of got over the side. I should have taped the whole thing off, but that's for a whole other time, a whole new project. Again, I learned lots. Oh yeah, and I tried to cover it up and that didn't work very well. But again, it looks better on camera than it does in person, so there you have it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had fun watching me do this bird study, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!